If you're looking for a small, compact, handheld vacuum with big suction, this might be the vacuum for you. Let's take a look. So here you can see the Wyze Handheld Vacuum, WYZE. This is the box. I've actually already opened it once without thinking of doing a review, but I figured, hey, it's a new product. People might be reticent to buy it. Let's see how it does. So, like I said, it's already opened. Unboxed a little bit here. I try to put it back as best I could, but not everything's perfect. This is not how they originally packaged it, honestly, but I tried. So, as we first open it up, you can see the actual vacuum itself. It's some sort of brush tool, probably an upholstery that you'd get with any other vacuum. You've got a crevice tool. You've got an extension, which using this thing on the vacuum is very odd, honestly, but it works. It works well. A USB-C charging cable, which is nice. The power brick that goes with that. A flat tool, which, as you can see, I've already used a little bit and works quite well. And there's an adapter here that you can use to connect to the actual vacuum and the extender. And then there's, of course, a quick start guide, which in my opinion is one of the worst quick start guides I've ever read. Very convoluted, but it's easy enough. It's a small vacuum, not that hard. And lastly, they actually do give you a nice, well, I shouldn't say nice, it's a vinyl bag, I believe, or some sort of PVC bag of some sorts. Very nice string on it, the drawstring, but the bag itself is kind of that cheap plastic. Put this aside, let's take a look at the actual tools. So here's all the tools laid out. We've got the Wyze vacuum itself, which comes with the sort of an oval opening, which you connect the other attachments to. It's pretty nice. It's sturdy. It's probably not going to get scratched up too bad unless you're using it on concrete a lot. But I would suggest trying to use the accessories whenever possible. To get the easy ones out of the way for now, we've got the charging brick. Really not much to talk about. I still got the actual stuff on that, the cling wrap or the protectant. Your normal power brick, USB-C cable is pretty unremarkable. It's not braided, which is not a big deal. It's kind of hefty, which is nice. However, again, like I said, it's not braided. One idea I did have was to purchase one of those wireless charging pads, basically. I don't have one nearby right now, but like the Mophie, or there's a lot of knockoff brands that you can buy pretty cheap, and connect the actual charger to the back here, and then this other end would have the charging pad, and maybe mount it on here, so then you could just put it down, and of course I'm spilling actual dirt on me right now. Put it down, and it would charge. The pad would be here, the receiver would be here, and you could charge it, so you could just pick up and go. I don't know if that would work. We'll find out. I'll give it a try. That may be a problem with the automatic charging shutoff that a lot of these small devices have. I just noticed as I was picking that up, some dirt fell out, so I do think that that's actually kind of a design flaw. Yeah, you see right there, actually, if I shake this a little bit, I mean, there is an anti-reverse channel, I guess you'd call it, in there. I'll just get rid of that. That should be preventing that, but it looks like a little bit got trapped in there. So I'd be careful, you know, if you vacuum anything particularly volatile up with this, which you really shouldn't. It's not a wet vac at all. But, you know, maybe if you're getting some spices off the ground and you've got someone with an allergy, just be careful when they're handling this. I did forget to mention in the last clip that it came with an extra replacement filter. This does take small filters. They're metal, you can wash them according to what I've read online. This one actually appears to be fabric, which is surprising, but that should go theoretically right in the center of the unit. Let's see if I can pull this out and show you guys. If you untwist this, and there's more dirt, that should, I believe, go in the place of this. I'm not going to mess with mine though, because it's working just fine and it's metal. I would imagine this probably comes off. Yep, looks like it does. Okay, so it goes right in there. So yeah, this part's washable. It looks like this part is not. So that's kind of a drawback. However, you know, you can't fault them. Most vacuum companies are like that in terms of the actual filters. I've got a mess all over my desk. So I guess since this is a handheld vacuum, I'll vacuum that up real quick. One of the other things I noticed that when you have to line up the connection points here, this side's not white. It's hard to line them up, but all you do is you push them together and then you twist and it locks in. Get that vacuumed up. Okay, so there's the filter, the extra filter, put that aside. The bag's pretty self-explanatory, obviously. It just holds everything, or most things. It really doesn't fit the vacuum and the accessories well, and I do think they could have gone a little better in this. However, for the price I paid, which I believe was around $69, I can't complain. Now, that was the Kickstarter price. I do believe retail is going to be a little more expensive. We'll see. Moving on, you get your regular flat tool. Nothing special here, just kind of goes across flat surfaces. Works okay in the rug, gets caught sometimes. The way that you use, I believe this one, I've only used it once, is you just kind of plop it right in there. It's pretty good. I will say this has phenomenal suction. This entire vacuum system has really good suction for its size. You're not going to be on your hands and knees doing an entire floor with it. That would just be ridiculous. If you wanted to use the extension wand, you put this little piece in here. It snaps in pretty tightly, and then you put this on. Well, as a full unit, it looks very odd. It feels very odd. However, it works pretty well. Can't complain again. We can move around through it. We can move around nicely with it, and it does the job. Once you have that, you could put the extension further with the, I believe it's called the upholstery tool, and I think that the crevice tool actually fits on. Yep, nicely too. So again, not bad, not a bad set of tools for the price and for its application.
So as you can see, I've got some dirt here on the floor. We're gonna give it the Wyze Vac a test, see how much it can hold. That looks like maybe a cup and a half of dirt that's left over from last season. Let's power on the low level here, hold down the button. And here's the second level.
Well, that's never happened before. Whoops, hit my head there. So it seems like there's an automatic shut-off for the vacuum when it gets full. Let's see how much comes out. So I've got the Wyze Vac here, and it just shut off after that apparently full amount of dust or dirt that got in there. I grabbed a quick Pyrex quartz measurement. Let's see how much we got in here, how much it actually holds. I actually didn't know that it shut off after it filled. Shake it all out there. So I did lose maybe about a teaspoon of it on this bucket here. Put that back up really easily. Level it out. So actually it only looks about half a cup of dirt it can hold, which really isn't a lot. However, this is billed as a desktop, or sorry, car handheld vacuum, and for that, I'll be okay with half a cup. So let's talk about the pros and cons of the Wyze Handheld Vacuum. Comes from a pretty great company. I think what they're doing overall is phenomenal. They're trying to achieve a smart ecosystem that everybody can afford. I have a number of their cameras, their security system with the door sensors, and they try to make things quality yet cheap enough for everyone to afford it, unlike other brands like Nest or Ring, where you can pay upwards of $150 to $250 to $350 for a single camera. I think these cameras do a great job, but Anyway, the vacuum itself, the pros, it's pretty lightweight, it's small, it's sturdy, it's probably not going to be a problem with it cracking. It's pretty thick plastic here. It's got its uses. The battery life is okay for its size. It's around 6 minutes on the most powerful mode, but I think around 20 minutes or so. Maybe it's 14 minutes with the lower one, it says in the box, but it's definitely a good amount of time for how much you're going to be able to fill it. The accessories that come with it are fantastic. They're sturdy as well. They have all their own normal applications, which you would expect from a vacuum. Like I said before, the price point, very good. Around $70, $69 I think, on the, not Kickstarter, but on their early buy program through the Wyze app. If you don't have the Wyze app, I would suggest grabbing it. Like I said, very cheap cameras, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, depending on if you want the outdoor, indoor models. I think the outdoor is 50 right now, but it goes on sale for around 30 generally speaking. It's easy to empty. You just push this little unit. There's a spring-loaded top portion here that opens up, and you can empty it. That's nice. To get towards the filter is also pretty easy. You just turn and you can access it right there. Access it right there. Line these up, turn them over again, you're good to go. That's probably it for the good part. Now, throw this in before I move on to the cons, throw this in a car, in a camping setup, in a home office, or if you buy a bunch of them, store them around your house. If you have one at the office, real nice, real quick to use, real easy. The common USB-C, which is becoming more and more common every day, is really nice to have in terms of it. And like I mentioned before, if you were to attach a wireless charging, one of those Qi, I think they're pronounced, pads, you could probably actually charge this wirelessly. I don't know if that's true or not. I'll try it out and maybe let you guys know. The accessories are quick on and off, all that kind of stuff. That's nice. The cons. The battery life is not fantastic. I know I mentioned that as a pro. I think for its size, it's good. If you're looking for this to do an entire, floor of your house, bad idea. You get a different vacuum. The canister is pretty small. Like I showed on the video before, about half a cup of dirt, and that was just regular dirt, could fit in there before it shut off. That was kind of a cool feature, that it shut off and told you basically, hey, I'm full. The suction power of this thing is really, really good. There's been nothing I couldn't pick up yet. I will say that the opening's a little bit small. I was trying to pick up some foam from a large piece of foam that I cut from an old mattress. I was using it as a sound deadening tool, and the little parts fell off and it was getting stuck in here. So that was a problem. Cleaning it out when there's a lot of stuff in the actual filter compartment there is hard to do. Sometimes they get lodged around and that becomes a problem. I found myself more than one time having to undo this and pull off the actual filter to get it all out of there. Sometimes you have to do it with other vacuums as well, but this one I found more often than not was part of the issue. Another con that I found was on the back of this is where the exhaust comes out, where the air that comes in through suction, it gets filtered out the particles and comes back out again. It's powerful. So if you are vacuuming something moving forward and you go past where the dirt is, you actually can have the dirt blow back at you and kind of disturb where you've already vacuumed, which is a real problem for this model. I'm sure they thought about where best to put those vents. I don't know if they could have done a better job where I would suggest it. I'm not an engineer. Maybe on the sides, but maybe on the sides and pointing up, but again, I don't know. I'm sure they thought about this. This is the first model that they came out with for the vacuum. I'm sure there's gonna be better iterations. For the price point of, if I'd say under $100 or 100 and under, and you are a camper, you're a busy dad or mom with a minivan, for example, and you've got cereal you gotta vacuum up, or you've got a home office set up that you wanna keep clean, If you've got kids and you just want to have an extra vacuum sitting around, this is a pretty good solution. It does not do liquids though, they're very clear on that. So if you are looking to mop up spilled cereal and milk, not a good idea. Maybe later models will have that, I don't know. But overall, pretty good unit. For $100 or under, I would recommend it. But again, only if you've got those limited applications. I am finding myself, as a single male, you know, not having a ton of application for this. I thought when I originally bought it was quite a bit bigger, but it only, actually, let me measure that for you. So looking at the dimensions of this, it is around 14.5 inches, so a little over a foot, almost a foot and a half. Well, not quite, but and the circumference, because it is circular, is around 9 inches. So, you know, and it's got some heft to it. It's probably around 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds maybe, with the battery in it, with the canister empty. For the non-American viewers, in centimeters, we're talking about 37 in length, and around it is 23 centimeters. So it's pretty small. You know, you can almost fit it in a purse. Definitely fit it in a backpack. Would recommend either one of those unless you were trying to get somewhere with it, but that's the idea. So Wyze Handheld Vacuum, it's a pretty good unit. Price, like I said, honest review. For me personally, I'd give it a probably 5 out of 10. It missed the mark in a few spots for me. If I had a better application, kids, a minivan, even a big SUV, a cottage maybe, or a small vacation home, a trailer, things like that. If I had those types of things, or even kids, I think I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10, because maybe even an 8 out of 10. It is a pretty good unit, but it does have some drawbacks. Thanks guys so much for watching. Please comment, subscribe, like. Definitely leave some comments for me how you suggest we could use this thing, and what it might be good for. Thanks so much.